Yep.
Okay, why did you think it was important to bring your team back here to Comerica Park?
Well, there's a bunch of reasons for me. Number one, I believe, Michigan State I love, but I do love the state of Michigan. And I think anytime our sports team's doing well, and we've had some incredible opportunities to do some things with the Lions, the Tigers, or the Red Wings, or the Pistons, and really, school came up to see us last year, and so that's one reason to support them. The second reason is I think it's really important that these guys understand they're playing for a lot of people. And sometimes when you get around an atmosphere like this, the state of Michigan, and the third reason is to just team build. Be around each other, see some fun things, see how guys react to different things. It's all part of the team building that we're trying to do.
You always pointed, even in March Madness last year, the team building of this time last year when you went to Comerica Park. Do you think that could also help you down the road and everything?
Well, I think they all help a little bit. We went to Spain, we went to Comerica Park, we went to the UP. I'm always trying to look for things that we can do that are outside of basketball, but that you can relate it to basketball. And watching teams play for championships is always important to me in any sport. I mean, I have our guys watch the Super Bowl. I have guys watch the college football playoffs. I just think learning how to play at a level and seeing how people play at a level that is pretty special level is different. Everybody can play in regular games. Getting the playoff games, it gets a little different, and that's kind of why I do it.
Do you like the vibe around here? Is that part of it as well, the winning culture that the Tigers have built here in Detroit as well?
Yeah, I'm just mad that the weather didn't want to cooperate, because I wanted to walk around the city a little bit, spend a little time. But our guys will be here any minute now. They had practice early this morning, and then we went to class, and so they won't get a chance to do that, but they're going to get a chance to see this place rocking and rolling. I don't care if it's raining or not. I got a feeling it's going to be a packed house, and so, yeah, I'm happy for the Tigers. Like I said, anytime the Tigers, the Lions, the Pistons, the Red Wings do well in our state, I think it helps our state.
Michigan State Madness, you had, I guess, messages from J.B. Bickerstaff, Dan Campbell, Tarek Skubal. What does that mean to have the support of the Detroit teams also for Michigan State as well?
Well, that was really cool. That meant a lot to me, having the mascots there, the drum line. I mean, again, it's just our way of getting a chance to rub shoulders with people that are trying to do the same thing we are, just at a different level.
Is that growing the brand of Michigan State as well, coming out here and everything as well?
To me it is.
Okay.
And it's a lot more than basketball. It's growing our brand, the Michigan State brand. People that are here and see us, and advertisers, and all the different things. Yeah, I think anytime you can spread the good word is a good word. And our guys have been great. They were excited to come down here, so they asked, and I said, sure, we'll see what we can do, and we did.
Fred always says that you're not the biggest baseball fan, but do you still enjoy coming to these games and everything?
Oh, yeah, I do. And when he says I'm not the biggest baseball fan because I can't sit out in the summer, I'm recruiting. He's sitting out there watching games, but I'm a baseball fan, and you know what I am? I'm a playoff fan in every sport in America, whether it be soccer, whether it be, because I just think there's a different vibe, as you call it. There's a different feeling. There's different focus. You can see what a little mistake could make on not executing a bunt. That's like missing a free throw, So I think all those things are important in what we're trying to do. But the biggest thing is the camaraderie, and as you say, spreading the brand that Spartans are in the house, and that we're proud of our other teams in the state of Michigan.
You always described last year's team as one of the closest ones. I guess, where do you think this year's team is at chemistry-wise?
Right now, I think it's taken monstrous steps in the last 3-4 weeks, and I'm hoping things like this help. And I'm going to have a couple other things up my sleeve to do a better job of. And we don't get to go to Spain this year, so we got to make up for it in different ways.
What was it like, interacting with Skubal, and what was he like, just him coming into a game and everything?
Well, when he came in with his Mateen Cleaves jersey on, I knew he knew what the Spartans were all about. And he was great, man. He sat right there. He was in the locker room before, after the game. Very humble. It's fun to show our players, too, how superstars can act. And I've gotten a chance to do that in basketball, baseball, football, even in hockey. And so those are some of the things that are special to me.
Can we get a prediction from you for the game?
Yeah, I think the Tigers are going to win. I think it could be a little more scoring today, since maybe 5-2.
Okay, fair enough.
I saw last night at Kirk Gibson's grand opening event, you had a message for him. Just how special was it, to see what he did last night, opening up that Parkinson's Center?
It's unbelievable. I've been part of his golf outing every year, and I was at a thing at the DAC last week, and Gibby came over. I was hoping I could get down to it because of practice and everything last night. I just couldn't, and recruiting. But he's coming by here today, him and Joanne, so I'll get a chance to see them. And what he's doing, you think of what he did for all the Spartan fans, and then the Detroit and the LA fans. But what he's doing here can hit people all over the world. And I think that's who Kirk Gibson is, and I'm proud of him as a Spartan, but I'm proud of him as a human being, and really excited to be a small part every year of helping him raise money to put this center on the map and now build it, because it's built, now grow it from the inside out.
Anything else? Okay. First off, why was it important for you guys to come back here? I know you were here last year and everything, but why is it important team chemistry-wise to come back for this trip?
Yeah, I mean, we saw last year team chemistry was what kept us in the season, and now for me, growing up as a Lions fan, a Detroit sports fan, and growing up in Jackson, I kind of wanted to let the guys know that it's really important to support the local the state team, and kind of get them excited about postseason baseball. So. Detroit, we're kind of on the rise right now, especially we're back from glory, back from where we used to be, and then it's important to support and come out here, and then also just get to know the guys more and always bond, because you can't have too close of a team. So for us, this is anything we can do as a team is good for us. So
playoff-wise, did you ever go to any Tigers games as a kid that were playoff games or anything?
No, so I didn't. I would always watch them on TV, but I never really came to a game in person, and we came to a couple last year in the postseason as well, and it was always a great time. So the
atmosphere here, Izzo always talks about a winning culture. Does that kind of, trickle off to you guys when you're around here and see that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so. Even with the Pistons getting to the postseason and stuff, and how that is, it's kind of the same thing. It's Coach always says it's for us to watch on TV and watch the playoffs to really see how guys react and how they get along with each other, because that's how we want to be as well. So
you guys always talked about how close last year's team was. Where do you think this year's team is so far, chemistry?
Yeah, I think we're really we got a lot of new players for sure, and it's a lot of new faces, a lot of new personalities we got to get used to having in the locker room. But Coach does a great job of recruiting guys that aren't going to hurt the locker room vibe. So everyone's getting along really well, and it's really fun getting everybody's chemistry to play together and to see how that can all play out. So,
did you grow up playing baseball? Like, how long did you play baseball?
No, I played baseball up until maybe middle school, and
Were you good or just
No, I was bad. I pitched for a little bit. I just tried to throw as hard as possible, but.
So I guess how cool is it now to be here and see a playoff game and everything?
Yeah, I love it. I follow them all year, especially last couple of years when they've been really good. It's fun to watch, and it's always they play so many games, so I always have it on the TV at night, and it's a lot more fun when you know all the guys and kind of their story, and obviously Z-Mac being like a Chippewa's guy. My parents went to Central and everything like that, so that's really cool, and you can just tell they love it. They love playing with each other out there, and so it's even more fun like that. So
back in, I think it was February or whatever, Tarek Skubal came, watched you guys. Did you get to talk to him, be around him at all? Or?
Yeah, so I tried to, I took a picture of him in the locker room afterwards, because obviously, some of the other guys, they didn't know really who he was as much because they don't follow Detroit, which is fine. And so I just had to kind of educate him a little bit, this is probably the best pitcher that's ever going to come in a Tigers program. And I ended up getting a picture with him. And earlier this year, he sent me a jersey and stuff. That was really cool. And yeah, he's probably one of my favorite Tigers right now.
Is there anything you can learn about the way he carries himself as a superstar in this city and everything?
Yeah, I mean, he holds himself to a high standard, which for him it's a higher standard than most pitchers. So it's really cool when you can see him get frustrated and see him just continue to be resilient after a bad game, maybe here and there, and especially with baseball, it's so hit or miss, and critics can be critics in tough spots of the game, and for him to be able to, kind of push that aside and just fight through everything and, get to playing baseball back. His 2 starts ago when he had 14 Ks and stuff. Is like, you look at that, it's stuff they don't see much. So it's really cool to see him playing his best baseball.
Michigan State Madness, you guys had messages from JB Bickerstaff, all the guys here in Detroit, Dan Campbell, etc. I guess, what does that mean to have that support from this city all the way to East Lansing and everything?
Yeah, it's huge. Kind of as a vet, obviously, like I said earlier, being from Michigan and stuff, kind of grew up around it, but kind of letting the other guys know, like, that's not a small thing, and that's something I try not to take for granted, and I try not to, I try to take it every day and not think it's too big of a thing to have that support behind us. It's really cool. Like, Campbell's daughter, I think, goes here, so him being a State fan and Bickerstaff and all those guys is really cool, and it gives us some confidence to know that we've got a good support system behind us.
You have a final prediction series for everything that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think it would have been awesome to come here for the clinching game, but I think we get them both done here at home. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Why do you think it was important that you guys came back here? And I know you were here last year and everything for team bonding and everything.
Because who wouldn't love to be here? Who wouldn't love to be watching the Detroit Tigers, going as far as they are right now and getting a chance to really connect and bond with each other in a setting like this. I know tons of people who would die for an opportunity like this, and it's just so great that we are able to have this chance to be in an environment like this. And I think this is like one of the best settings you can have team bonding, in my opinion.
How much of a benefit was it last year? You always talked about how close last year's team was. Like, how much can you guys really benefit from a trip like this?
Honestly, I think it goes a long way, because once you develop the foundation of our chemistry now, when times get tough during the season, whether it's in games or in practice or in just the everyday grind, it really helps when you can rely on each other to be like, hey, we've been through the hard work, we know what the end goal is, just keep each other up, because honestly, it's gonna get hard, and especially with our expectations and going to where we want to go, it's gonna get very tough, and we need to make sure that everyone is in it for the end game. And I think that everyone on our team, coaches, players, everyone has that same end goal or that end game in mind. So I think that this just kind of puts the cherry on top, because we're about to get going in a couple weeks, and I think that we are just ready to show everyone what we can do.
Growing up, were you a baseball fan? What's kind of your background with baseball?
I won't lie to you. My background on baseball is very limited.
Okay.
Coming from Utah, we didn't watch much baseball, but I played baseball at a very young age, but it didn't last very long when basketball took over. But honestly, whether it's basketball, hockey, football, any other type of sport, it's always just fun to get out of your own sport sometimes and just enjoy what other athletes do in their game. And it's awesome to watch, other professional sports, just to see how locked in they are in their game and how they try to perfect their craft at their game. And so I think being in this setting right here is awesome, not only just to watch the game, but also kind of look at the small details of the pros on the team, just to see like how they take, their pregame routines, their postgame routines and all that stuff. Because Coach Izzo tells us to, kind of look out for that stuff. Like, when it comes to basketball, football, baseball, or whatever, they always say, like, look how they prepare for a game, look how they act after a game, look at the small things that they do in the game, just to make sure that they have a calm mindset or a calm mentality. And so I think looking for those little things, kind of helps us all as basketball players try to figure out how to, have a good routine during the games and stuff.
Last year, Scuba came and visited you guys during the season, everything. Was there anything you took away from, having a superstar in the clubhouse or whatever, being around him?
Honestly, just having him there, I remember like it's as if he like appeared out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden he was just in the locker room, and I was just like, holy cow, that's incredible. I think having that, like, such a professional, like just having him there was just amazing, and it kind of, he helped us, like, you know, kind of have a, I'm trying to find the right way to say it, like, he made sure that, like, we had a professional, calm approach to one of our games that we were going into when he visited, and having him there was just so awesome to see him, to meet him, to kind of ask him some questions, and just having them there supporting us just made it so much better.
Michigan State Madness, you had messages from Dan Campbell, JB Bickerstaff, all those guys. What did that mean to have that support from the Detroit's professional teams all the way to East Lansing?
It meant the world, because honestly, when you see people out here doing the things that they're doing and going to the links that they're going to, and knowing that they're supporting us, it just, you know, you can't be anything but thankful, and just kind of soak that in and say, like, hey, these guys are rooting for us. You know, these guys are rooting for us, and it just kind of gives you extra motivation to show everybody, give everybody a show.
Team chemistry-wise, where do you think this team's at, or like, I guess, in the growing process?
I think we're in a very, very good spot, and honestly, I think everybody can agree that we're just ready to show people what we can do. And team chemistry, I mean, obviously, last year's team was very close, but this year's team is going to be something special, and I just can't wait for everybody to see what we can do and to see how we grow.
How excited are you for your senior season and get rolling?
I am very excited. You know, it gets me a little bit every time I think about it, but it's the last ride, and I'm going to make sure you know, this is going to be a very special year for everybody, not just for the seniors, but for everybody, all the coaches, all the players, and all the MSU fans.
Final score prediction for tonight's game. I know you don't know too much about baseball.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you confident in the Tigers? Can they?
Oh yeah, okay. For sure. Yeah, I got them winning this, but I can't. I don't know if I could give a score.
Okay, fair enough.